This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, my guest today, and we are in the middle of football season, but the end of baseball season, Andrew. Final day of baseball, Game 7 tonight, Wednesday night. Dodgers and Astros tied 3-3. It's been a great series so far. Last night, it was a great game, but it almost seemed like a letdown after some of the really good games we've had.
Right, I mean, there weren't a ton of game-tying home runs last night like we were accustomed to seeing, right?
Right, yeah.
Have you heard the conspiracy that the balls might be somehow changed to
from the
fly out
regular
of park?
season to the postseason, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but
yeah,
theories out there.
I mean, I've heard from multiple newspapers, people writing articles about it, but yeah, I mean, this series, unbelievable, and it kind of reminds me of last year when we had Indians-Cubs go to Game 7, but yeah, super exciting. I mean, every single game it's been so great to watch. There's been at times good pitching, but I mean just the home runs, the offense late. I mean that's really what baseball's all about. That's why people love to watch the game.
Yeah, and I mean everyone says, "Oh, baseball's dead and it's not exciting, and all these games take forever." And yeah, they are long games, but when they're as exciting as they are, I mean that game on Sunday night, the people who were able to watch it who didn't lose power, such as myself, but the end of it was exciting, back and forth, and really I think. Maybe, I'm not sure exactly, but one of the only games that didn't have a back and forth was Game 3, which was the Yu Darvish game. The Astros jumped on him early, 4-0, and then kind of settled in, and they ended up winning the game. And Yu Darvish goes tonight, so let's get right into that. Game 7, Yu Darvish, Lance McCullers. You got to imagine all hands on deck. The only guy's not available, obviously Verlander. He's not going to pitch again.
Right.
And then Rich Hill, the Dodgers starting pitcher from last night. But everyone else, they got a chance to come in, including Kershaw probably.
I mean, yeah, I think it gets so exciting when all hands are on deck, right? I mean, there is no other game you have to rest for. This is the only game now. And I mean, with guys like Kershaw, when you can have your ace just come into the game at any point, I mean, that's so exciting. I mean, this is going to be a great game tonight, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be
and it was huge last night because it looked like at one point Kershaw was getting up and getting ready to, he was kind of stretching. I don't know if he actually threw, but he was trying to kind of stretching because it looked like, Hill only going 4 innings or whatever it was, and then having to get to the bullpen. But luckily, with a big comeback, they were able to win the game late, 3-1. No drama late in the game. Jansen came in and won and got the save. So where does this rank? You don't have to give me a number, but I mean one of the best series. You mentioned last year.
Oh, yeah.
And last year 7 games. Last year it seemed like it was Cubs and Indians, and the storyline of the two teams in the cities made it bigger than it was.
Right.
This time it just seems like the actual gameplay is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean it really is. I mean just this offense that we're seeing is unlike. I mean it's just. On average basis, when a team is down late in the game, they lose.
Right, it's over. Yeah,
that pretty much it happens. Probably 9 out of 10 times.
Right.
But it seems like every time a team has been down late in this game, in this series, they've come back. And a couple of years ago, when it was Giants-Royals, did that go to Game 7?
Yeah, that went to 7
So
games.
The next time we have a World Series that doesn't go to 7 games, it's going to be disappointing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we're so accustomed to it now.
Right, and it's like you said, it's almost like no matter who's in the game for pitcher, whether it's Verlander, Kershaw, the great closers, the great relievers, everybody knows they have a shot at it, and anything can happen. and so it's been really exciting. So getting into that, who might be the MVP? Right now, obviously it's going to depend on who wins the game.
Right.
Dodgers win, they'll get an MVP. Astros win, they'll get one. Yep. So who would you pick depending on tonight, if either team wins?
I mean, like you said, tonight's definitely going to determine it. But I think if the Astros win, I think George Springer would be a candidate. Yep. Maybe Altuve, maybe Correa. I would probably say Springer. Yep. He struggled early, but he had some big hits in this series, and he has multiple home runs now as of last night. And, if the Dodgers win, I mean, we talked about Chris Taylor maybe.
Yeah, probably.
It's hard to say with the Dodgers. I think it's more kind of a more evened out there. Yep. But, I mean, tonight's definitely going to determine it.
They've gotten up and down the lineup, whether it be Peterson, Taylor, like you mentioned, Springer with 4 home runs now. I think that's the first player since Lou Gehrig to have 4 home runs from the leadoff spot in a World Series. So, I mean, this series has been great. Who you got here? I'll put you on the spot before we head out. Who you got tonight in Game 7?
You know, it's tough to say. From the beginning of this season, really thought the Astros were a great team. That offense, that lineup is just so good. And obviously they want to have Verlander going tonight, but when they added Verlander, I thought this team can't really lose. Right. I'm going with the Astros. I think that lineup is just too lethal. And for them to score 1 run last night, I think that's rare for them. I think they're going to go off offensively tonight.
They'll break it out tonight. I hope it's going to be a good game. I'm taking the Dodgers. I had them at the beginning of the season to win the World Series. I'm going to take them. I think they're at home, but I think it's going to be a great game and should be a lot of excitement. So we'll see what we're in store for tonight in Game 7. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into some NFL. Obviously, Patriots in the news as they approach their bye week for some big trades and moves off the field. We'll take a break. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.